I'm gonna rate some of these side hustles that I see all the time on Twitter, on Instagram. These are the ones that you guys are seeing all the time, people talking about, hey, here's a course on this type of strategy, and here's a course on this type of marketing agency. And we're gonna go through kind of some of the ones that I think are the best business models, and also the ones I think are the worst business models. And I think that this might be a pretty fun exercise. So let's jump right over. You guys should see right in front of you a list where it says great at the top, then you got good, okay, bad, worst, and below it you're gonna see all these different categories: affiliate marketing, blogging, coaching, consulting, all the way across, all the way down. So let's go through this, and I'm gonna put my favorite at the top and the worst at the bottom. I'm gonna take acquisition and putting it up in the gray. This is what I do. This is how I built my wealth. I've acquired businesses and I've taught other people to do it. I've seen it work time and time again. You can do one deal and it's going to really change your financial picture. One successful deal, adding 6 figures or more a year in cash flow, should change anyone's life. And definitely putting that at the top. I'm definitely biased, but you guys are gonna have to deal with it. All right, so second, let's go from what is not great. I can add some other ones up there that are great too, right? So I can kind of go across and put my thoughts on some of these. But let's go across the list at the bottom, and I'm just gonna start throwing them up on this chart, all right? So the first one is affiliate marketing. So I'm gonna put affiliate marketing in the good category. And I'll tell you why it's not great to me. Affiliate marketing is very much it can be very lucrative and it can be a great business model, but it really comes down to what industry you're doing it in and how you're setting it up. If you're in a specific, I'm a fan of being in a niche or very niche specific industry and doing affiliate marketing, right? Because you're able to build a brand, people know you for who you are, maybe it's travel, hospitality, whatever brand it is, right? And if you build up a brand on that or a following on that, affiliate marketing can be an amazing lucrative opportunity, right? Now, granted, it takes time. To be a good affiliate marketer, it really does take time to build up that brand and what that brand signifies, building trust with your audience so that you're able then to pass on them to that offer and have them buy and convert at a good rate. So you definitely need to have that pre-built. So in terms of a rating, I'm giving it a good because yes, you can do well with it. Yes, you can make a lot of money, but it's not great because it takes a good amount of time to, in my opinion, to build up that brand so that it becomes worth your time and you're making legitimate money, right? Acquisition, as long as you've had some jobs in the past, you've worked in sales, marketing, or operations, which is almost everybody. As long as you've done something, you can go out there and get an SBA loan and you can do it. You don't have to wait to build up a brand or take time to build something up before you can actually implement it, right? So that's why I would put that in the gray category. Affiliate marketing, good. I'm not doing OnlyFans. I'm not gonna do some of these. So we're just gonna go pick the ones I can talk on. All right, coaching and consulting. I think this is great, right? So I'm gonna put that up here next to acquisition. Now, obviously, I have a coaching program in a group, so I'm not, again, it might sound biased, but I'm putting it up near great because you can start it in a day, right? You can literally, if you have a skill that's marketable, that you can help other people on a particular topic, there's nothing stopping you from being a consultant or coach, right? Make a profile, start talking about it. People are gonna ask you questions, give way more value than you're receiving. Don't go out there day one, try to sell a product. Go out there and just help people, right? Go out there and volunteer for a couple, like 1 or 2 projects. Just go out, volunteer, and go and do a great job, get an amazing review, do it for free, and have that person then sing your praises. And believe it or not, you're gonna be getting a bunch of other people reaching out to utilize your service, right? I've seen it time and time again. You can literally get multiple 4-figure retainers in the span of 30 days just by going out there, doing some work for free, getting great reviews, using that, putting it out there, and getting people reaching back out to you. So very easy to implement. Almost everyone out there has some type of skill that they can monetize. If you don't, work on the skill first, and once you're ready, then you can monetize it. All right, content creator. I see, okay, I'm gonna put at blogging in and of itself. Blogging it used to be much more of a thing where SEO ads and used to have, but to be able to get to a point of having a blog that is monetized heavy enough to where you're making legitimate money takes a long time. A lot of content, a lot of writing, a lot of backlinks, a lot of just work to end up making significant money. It takes a long time. So that's why the time, the effort, I'm putting it down at okay. All right, content creator. I guess I'm gonna put this one at okay. The reason why content creator is okay is because it takes time. You're not gonna be famous or making money within the first few months, if not even the first potentially year. It takes time to build up a following, build up a brand, and then you gotta use that brand to then sell something to. right? And yeah, content creator, a lot of people think they're gonna be the next Logan Paul or something else like that. It's very hard. It's extremely grinding and just going out there day after day, throwing a bunch of things out there, hoping something hits and sticks to the wall. Yeah, not my favorite, even though I'm doing it. Courses and education. So this goes into the whole coaching consulting. The reason why it's not great is because it takes time, right? To build a course that's worth selling is gonna take you some time to put together. So it's not something like today, if I wanted to start consulting, I can do that. I can't just list a course today, right? I gotta build it out, I gotta make a syllabus, I gotta make sure that when someone pays for it, they're gonna get enough value so that they leave me a great review so I can then continue to sell the course and grow it out. But I think the education sphere and picking a topic that people wanna learn about, becoming an expert on it, making a course or a book, an ebook or whatever on it, I think is awesome. I think it's a great way to create legitimate cash flow, and I'm a big fan of it. Put it up there. All right, let's see. I have a newsletter. At this point, I probably have 12, 13,000 people in the newsletter. It's amazing and it can be monetized, but it takes time. Again, a newsletter is in and of itself, if you're starting from scratch and you're just building a newsletter, that's gonna take a lot of time. To get it to a point where you actually have unless you have a previous brand, or you have a following on, let's say you have a 50,000 followers on Instagram, you can build up your newsletter pretty quickly because you offer a freebie in exchange for their email, and you get a bunch of people from your audience there now become an audience on your newsletter. So you can do it if you already have an audience, but if you don't, it takes a lot of time, it takes really consistent content posting and really just incentives to get people to subscribe. So in and of itself, I think it's an okay model. Now, it's a great add-on if you have a brand, if you have an existing coaching community, then it can be a great way to add value. Let's do that one. Drop shipping, you know what, I might get some flack for this one. The reason why I put drop shipping is super popular. There's a bunch of people out there that are, saying they're making $1 million a year drop shipping, and that's great. I'm not at all convinced that it's a great business model. It's super hard. You constantly have to find new products to put out there and build up. This is similar with Amazon or FBA. So fulfillment by Amazon is okay, but still you don't have to deal with the logistical part because Amazon is doing it, but you still have to be on top of getting new SKUs, new products, getting reviews on them. It's something where it's a constant grind. It's super competitive. People are pricing things like we're talking pennies to get a better price, to get more reviews, and it's just constant and it's very competitive. And so that's one of the reasons why if I was telling someone to get into a side hustle that's going to make legitimate money, fulfillment by Amazon is not going to be a recommendation, and neither is dropshipping. All right, let's see. Or a clothing line. Again, I think I'm going to have to put this down in the bad. And the reason why, now, if you have a brand, then yes, merch, clothing line, can be a great way to add additional revenue. If you don't have a brand, to start from scratch and make merch and clothing line, it's so hard, right? It's not impossible. Obviously, there's a huge amount of examples of people who've done it. But how many people have tried and failed? And I guarantee you that number is 1,000-fold the people who are successful at it. It's just, you have to be very talented, very good at it, have connections, probably tie into finding a creator who has a following to start marketing your merch to, who wears your merch, gets people to come back to you in your store to buy it. The merch and clothing line is definitely not going to be in the top 10 for that. All right, let's get on to some other ones we got here. Oh, this one's good. YouTube automation. I'm going to put it here. And the reason why is I've dove into this before. There's just a lot of just sketch stuff in the YouTube automation space. It is not easy to just make a faceless YouTube channel, post a bunch of content, and then have it monetized and make a lot of money. Yes, are there people who do that? Yes. Is it something that you can pay someone or take the time and learn the skills of editing, learn the skills of just finding out what's trending and doing it? It takes a lot of work if you're going to do it yourself to be good at it. And there's so many people out there selling automation courses and will do this for you, done for you services. It's a super, just from what I've seen, just sketchy. And I know very few people doing it. I actually know only one who succeeded, and all the rest, I know a bunch of people who tried it and have not. So for me, not recommending anyone to try it, not saying it's impossible, just not gonna be a money. All right, let's move this forward. SaaS. I'm gonna put SaaS, okay. And the reason why I'm doing okay is not because I have a SaaS company. Like, it's one of the companies that I've acquired. They can be very lucrative, it's recurring revenue, their value is very high, especially when you want to resale. But in terms of starting it from scratch, again, the whole purpose of this is what would I recommend to someone who wants to do a side hustle, right? And unless they have a software engineering background, a development background, telling them to go and start a SaaS company is like, it's like I would hate that person, right? Like it's so much work. It takes so much time, energy, and money to develop a working SaaS product. Now, there's probably a bunch of examples out there of ones that took $5,000 and then within 6 months, they're at 100,000 MRR. That is very rare and very much the exception to the rule. So can they be amazing? Yeah, I've acquired one. Is this something I would recommend someone to start unless they really love doing it, have a development background, have a bunch of free time on their hands, and just a masochist in general because it's so painful to do development? Then no, I'm not going to tell you what to do. Podcasts, if you want to make money starting a side hustle, a podcast is not a good idea. This is like the content creator stuff. This is you every day speaking into the void. And eventually you're going to get some listeners, and those listeners might share your stuff, and eventually down the road you might have something. Now, if you already have a brand, all this is a caveat. If you have a brand where you have a following, then yeah, podcast makes sense. Like right now, for me, I'm getting on to almost 200,000 followers across different social media platforms. If I wanted to do a podcast, it would make sense, right? It takes time. I would put out that content. People who already follow me would probably listen to it. A certain percentage of them would. And then over time, it could grow. I'm not going to make money from it day one. Even though I'm talking about maybe acquisitions or building businesses, it takes time. And yeah, I might plug my own offering in there, and some people might come through that funnel. But I would do it with the kind of the long game in mind. And if you don't have a brand and you don't have a following, to start from scratch on a podcast, it's super hard. It's just going to take a long time. And it's not something that you're going to be monetizing anytime soon from the beginning. Okay, so let's do this quick. Video editor. So if a video editor, I'm going to put that into the good. If you have a skill set and you know how to edit videos, you can go on Fiverr or Upwork today, make a profile and put your price very low, and you will get people sending stuff for you to do. So you can start making money on that really quick. Now, it's a lot of work, especially if you're doing the editing yourself, but you can easily scale that over time. So you can start making money day one if you have the skill set. So I'm gonna put that up in good. User-generated content, same up here. If you have the skill set, you put out an offer, and you can start making money pretty quickly. And so if you have that skill set and that background, yeah, I can recommend that. Drop servicing, this is like the white labeling. Again, I'll put that, you know what? Because you're not providing the service, I'll put it up here. So drop servicing is more of, you sell SEO services, but you have another provider, right? You're the middleman. You make a website, you do SEO services. You go and find someone off Fiverr and Upwork who do SEO services for very cheap. You're the one who gets the order from someone. You then sell it to the person on Fiverr. They do it for way less than what you just sold it on, and you keep the middle, right? So you can do this starting today. You can go on Fiverr, make an account, doing SEO services. Someone pays you $500. You can then find someone else on Fiverr that'll do it for $250, and then you just make $250. So they do the work, they give it back to you, you give it to the client, and this is a drop servicing model. So that can start working pretty quick. Okay, so OnlyFans, I'm putting down here in the worst. And again, I'm saying OnlyFans from the perspective of what everyone knows OnlyFans for. And obviously not a fan of it personally. There's just, for me, moral implications and everything else. So OnlyFans and OnlyFans management are going to be down in the worst. And then let's say SMMA, I'll put that back up here again in terms of the ability you to start making money quickly. I would put it up there. Forming an agency takes a little bit of time, getting a couple clients on, doing it for free, and then getting right into marketing your services. So I'm gonna put that up into the good category. Okay, we just went through and put them out. So just to recap here, the great ones, I'm gonna be biased because these are the two things that I do, acquisitions and then coaching and consulting, which I do. But again, the reason why is because you can start making money on coaching and consulting day one. Acquisitions, you can't make money day one, but one deal and you have potentially changed your financial outlook, right? So there's a huge win if you get a deal done, right? Whereas these other models are more of like ongoing businesses, right? You have to start from scratch, you're hoping it catches on, and that's how I've listed it where good, these are high probability, you'll make money quickly. Okay is, yeah, you can make money, probably not quickly. Bad is, yeah, you can make money, but it's very hard to do it, and most likely you won't. And then worst is just don't get involved in it because I think it's not good for you.